In the astrology of January 5th, we have some very exciting transits today, starting with one that seems pretty intense, which is the Sun in a square with Chiron. So today we are going to be doing some healing through learning, healing through realization, and healing through essentially motivated action. And we have several pieces of this energy today. So we at the same time have the Moon in a sextile with Mars, which is very good for the action that we take. It sort of puts us in a state of balance, and basically like a flow state. It puts us in a flow state no matter if what we're doing is spiritual or whether it's purely work related. It sort of puts us in the right mindset so that we can move in the right way to get ourselves in the right place at the right time. And interestingly, what happens at the same time as this is Mars is in an octile, also known as the semi-square, with Poseidon. So there's actually like a sacred energy to what it is that we're doing, even if the thing in particular that we're doing doesn't seem that special. There is a greater meaning or a deeper connection that it has behind it. So you might just be, following a normal schedule today, nothing particularly is out of the ordinary, but you sort of feel a bit of motivation, and maybe it's sort of fueling your self-discipline in a really amazing way. And it puts you in this state where you're in a good mood, and even with the difficulties, even with the challenges that are being identified, you know that as long as you're making little bits of progress, it's going somewhere, even if you don't have the evidence of where exactly it's going. That energy that is going to be building and climaxing today is going to lead to basically a very exciting result tomorrow. But a lot of the things that you set in motion today are going to start manifesting over tomorrow, the next day, and the next day. So it's all essentially leading up to this really interesting energy that we're going to be experiencing on January 11th. Now, for today, we have some archetypes that the signs are going to fall into, or they're going to essentially gravitate these types of roles to themselves, which is for Aries, the underestimated teacher. You might think in a story or movie where a character is sort of always, thrown off to the side, and, people say that this person is useless or this person doesn't, have the right information. Well, Aries today is going to prove in many different situations that they do have, not only an education in something, not only that they have the wisdom in particular areas of life, but essentially these are all going to be highlighted probably back to back to back. So if you're an Aries who has felt very underestimated by your family, your friends, your coworkers, etc., you are going to be seen for the wisdom that you have. For Taurus today, you fall into the archetype of the devout believer, the things that you believe in, the things that you're working towards, the goals that you have. Your devotion is in itself an extreme form of magic, because Taurus already has so much power in the physical domain that really you can think about it almost like the sextile over to Pisces or the opposition over to Scorpio. When you have a mastery of the water realm as well, it's the perfect combination for manifestation through belief. For Gemini, whether or not it feels like it, you are going to be very much slipping into the role of the connected socialite. You are going to have all the right connections. Maybe it's your own family, maybe it's the friends that you always hang out with, but you're going to need information today, and the people that are gravitating around you all have it. For Cancer today, you fall into the role of the artist, the archetype of the creator, the dreamer, the innovator, the inventor. So today's a very special day to just be incredibly communicative about what is going on in your internal world. For Leo today, you are called into the role of the protector. You are called into the role to defend people who essentially, maybe it's even, people who are talking to Aries today, and they're getting some of the information they need, but they need a little bit of support. They need a little bit of protecting, even if it's possibly from their own judgment of themselves. And today you have the power to give that protection. For Virgo today, you are going to fall into the archetype of the clear seer, not just the psychic general or the witch archetype, but specifically the clear seer, the one who can see the truth directly. For Libra today, you fall into the archetype of the promoter, promoted. So whether that means you are getting a promotion of some kind in your life, that whatever it will be, it's going to be very visible and very significant. But also the promoter, you are going to be calling certain people into roles that you know that they can accomplish because you're able to assess what skills they have and the ways that they've grown. For Scorpio today, with all this powerful Marsian energy as well as the moon sextile, it's going to be a really powerful day for you falling into the archetype of the determined one, the one who through their willpower is able to overcome all types of obstacles as quickly as you see them. For Sagittarius, you fall into the archetype of the victor today. You are going to be incredibly victorious in anything that you essentially decide you're really going to go for. For Capricorn, you fall into the archetype today of the prepared student, the student essentially who is ready to take that final exam, the student who is ready to finally become the master. For Aquarius today, you are the archetype of the character who reveals the plot, or the character like the hero who the plot is revealed to. But today, there are going to be some very serious plot twists and exposition dumps as information just comes flowing in your direction. And for Pisces today, you fall into the archetype of the lucky one, or the young adventurer, which as always with your sign, you always have the duality of like a very ancient wisdom and an incredibly childlike wisdom as well. And you always have the old and the young, the two fishes swimming together. So it's going to be a really interesting day for you to experience what things this universe has in store for you. Thank you guys as always for tuning in, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.